everyone, welcome to the next video in this series of 4 from Walk in the Woods by Leila Duly, and we are going to be doing this one here today using again the Castle Arts gold pencils. I have got the 120 set, so we have a nice lot of colours to choose from. If you don't have the gold, as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I do have some comparison charts to different brands, just trying to get in the middle, so that you can grab something different if that's what you want to do. I know some people just choose their own colours, and that's of course absolutely fine, but if you do want to sort of follow along in a similar colour, then the charts might be helpful. Right, we have mushrooms and a snail today, another cute snail. I'm going to actually start with these larger mushrooms, I think, and I'm just having a look. I'm getting a bit distracted because it's pouring with rain. I'm going to use a little bit of Mars Black on these. Now be very careful with your Mars Black. Now Mars Black is actually a very dark brown, but it is very intense. I'm going to just use it quite lightly on my mushrooms here, just on this sort of gill bit. Okay, I'm just going to sort of get started with a light layer of colour. So I'm holding my pencil quite near the bottom, you can see that in the and on its side I'm just putting down a little bit just to get me going, just to help me see where I've got to go, you know, what is the skirt, what is the stem, and what is the top, and what's the gill. So it just helps me identify exactly what I'm doing, and gives me a little base colour at the same time. We are definitely going to darken up these mushrooms, but just starting nice and simply. There we go. Now before we do the detailing, I'm also going to have a look and see where I think might be a little bit darker. So I'm thinking, I think there'd be quite a dark line under here. I think that little hat, cap, whatever it's called, is overhanging, so there might be a little bit of a shadow in there, and also up here close to the stem, just there and there. Now we're going to do the same on the other one. Sorry, I'm just switching on my tablet because my son has sent me a message. He just sent me a ha. We were talking about the weather before he left, and he managed to chase the sun. It was going in the right direction. So basically, as he left, he had a Mac on. He got on the train and he took it off because it was warm, and it was sunny. Now here it was started raining, so I'd quickly got the bins in. I was doing a little bit of weeding actually outside. There's loads of weeds in the driveways and things, so I was doing that, and I was just putting them up with my hands, so I hope my fingernails aren't too black. Anyway, I was doing that, and the rain started, so I just went in because I was only in my cardi. I was just quickly getting the bins, you know, not dressed for gardening. So permanent brown next. So I came in, but it was he said it was dry on the train. Permanent brown, obviously, I mean out of the window. Well, and he got to uni in the dry, which was great. What I'm going to do with each of these gills is on the right hand side of each of the black lines, I'm going to draw a deep line of this permanent brown. Just going to brush that away so you can see hopefully what I'm doing. So I'm going to follow the lines all the way around, putting a deep line here. Now this particular bit's a little bit bigger, so I'm going to scumble some colour along a little bit, so it's all got a bit of extra colour. The tip I might leave in, it's not really the tip, the edge, leave lighter, look, and it starts to give us a little bit of a effect that makes it look like a bit more like proper mushroom gills. I think it does anyway. Maybe it's just because I know what I'm, sometimes I think because I know what I'm trying to do and achieve, then I think it might look more like it to me than anybody else, but I don't know. But for me that looks a bit more three-dimensional. That's what I'm trying to do, and it's a reasonably simple thing to do, I think, particularly when they're drawn in this way. Makes it a little bit easier. Now this permanent brown is almost a pinky brown, which sounds a bit odd, but that's how I see it, and it's quite a good one for this, because often, I don't know if you've ever noticed, when you buy mushrooms to eat, the gills can look slightly pinky brown. I don't know, maybe it's just my eyes, but I think this colour looks quite like they sometimes look. But we have got ones to do on other mushrooms at the bottom. I'm going to try and do each of them a different colour, just to give you some ideas. As I said yesterday, I mean, you may not have seen yesterday's video, I haven't looked in the back to find out what all these plants are and tried to go for the right colour, which you can do. I've just decided to do it my way, so it may be wrong, but it's, you know, I don't mind. Let's just put those bits in. I'm just doing it, I don't know, having fun and doing it my way. Sometimes I like to look them up and do them the way that they are supposed to be, but not today. There we go. So just working my way through. Yeah, it's raining so hard, and our food bin, our curbside food waste collection bin, has been left miles away from the house. Well, I say miles, and my next door neighbour's parking space. Not too far away. I can see it from the window, and it's pouring with rain, and the lid's off, and it's filling with water, and icky water, because, you know, the bottom of the food bin, yak. And I'm just not going to go and get it. I've also had a text saying my meds are ready, but I'm expecting a parcel. So, but it's getting so late. Wow, it's 2:15. Normally, if you were going to get a parcel, you would expect it to arrive in the morning. If it's coming by post, this is coming by Royal Mail, this sort of regular post service. If it's an Amazon parcel, around here they can come at any time of day, 6 o'clock, whatever it might be, you know, in the evening, after it's dark. Sometimes they can come on Sundays, bank holidays, all that. But with the Royal Mail, you know when you think they're going to come, really. I'm just going to scumble a few of these because it's looking a bit stripy, which isn't quite what I was going for. That's a bit better. So I was expecting it to be here before now. I'm also expecting something else in the post, but yesterday I got a letter, no, this morning, a letter. My husband spotted a letter this morning, which we think might have come today, but he said it was sort of stuck in the letterbox, so it may have been yesterday's, because I got a huge load of mail yesterday, and it was getting a bit wet, and that had come from America, and it was posted on about 3 weeks ago, maybe, and it's just turned up. Our post is pretty rubbish, but anyway, I'm expecting a Colouring Heaven magazine. It's their Halloween bumper issue, and there's some pictures in there that I want to do. I've cheated and looked at the flip through before I got it. I'm going to sharpen my pencil, it's getting too blunt. No, I don't know why, I just wanted to see it because I knew that there was some Agatha Pop pictures in there. I wanted to see them, but actually they're ones that are available on her Etsy anyway, that I've had before. I've got them already. I couldn't find them actually. I've got printouts, I couldn't find the downloads files, but it doesn't matter because I have them in the book, so that's fine. I wanted to have a look and see which ones I'd coloured before, and I've only done one, so I might do a sort of mini series of some of those because they're Halloweeny and cute. I was looking through my Halloween pictures, and I don't know, I know I need to start recording Halloween quite soon because it's coming up, but I'm just not in the mood for it yet. It's still September, but it's not something that I celebrate or do very much, but I know a lot of people do. So I've got to think of something. So I thought these pictures might be good, but not all of you will have them. But then not all of you will have anything else. But also Johanna's book coming out so soon. So excited. Magical Worlds. On the, is it the 24th of October? I think it's the 22nd in America, 24th in the UK. I'm hoping I might get mine a bit early. I've got it on order from Waterstones, and Waterstones sometimes dispatch a bit early, which is rather kind of them. I've stopped ordering from Amazon for new books because they just don't come out very early. Now let's do the tops of these mushrooms. Let me have a little look at what I've got. I want something that's going to sort of match this, and I'm thinking the Chinese orange sepia-y type colours might work quite well. Let's put down a bit of Chinese orange. I'm just thinking, you know, we've got a sort of reddish pinkish colour here. I think it'll go with this. I'm going to put down a layer just in the same way that I did with the gills. And under here, yeah, I don't know what day of the week Halloween's on. It's my niece's birthday. I don't know what she's whether she's planning anything. She used to always have a Halloween party, but I know her boyfriend is planning something for her for a couple of days, so I suspect he's taking her to his mum's house. They always have a Halloween party, I think. But there are other days. I don't know whether I'm going to see her or not. I shall have to talk to her about what her plans are. I think her mum was planning on coming up and just taking her out for a meal or something. So I don't want to interfere with any of that. So it might just be a matter of sending her something. We'll see. So I'm just building up some layers, as you can see. Just building it up from here towards the middle. Looks like a hat. I guess that's why it's called a cap. Now just checking there's nothing around the back here to do like there is on this one. Just build those layers up a bit more. I was going to do a second colour, but I think this is going to work on its own. That's good. There we go. Yeah, now we need the stem part. I'm looking at I usually do it in grey. I might do it in oyster. Seems like a good colour for a mushroom, doesn't it? There it is. Oyster, we used that last on the other page. What I'm going to do is build up a layer here on this side, and then do a bit less towards the middle. Same here, just build up a layer a little bit, and then less towards the middle, so hopefully it looks a bit rounded in shape. I'm going to do the same with the stem down here. I'm going to ignore that little skirty bit at the moment. I will come back and do something with that a little bit later. Just make sure you get some colour into all the little bits, nooks and crannies. I want some shadow under the skirt. I don't think this colour is defined enough to do that, so we're going to go over here, do the same thing. Quite a lot of background on this one to do. We haven't got all the black like we did on the other one. We've got some black, but not lots. So I'm not sure what to do with that. Have a think about that. Often it's quite a good idea to plan a background reasonably early in your sort of design, so that you know that not to use those colours that you're going to use in the background. This is almond and I'm going to use it for the skirt. So I'm going to go over it lightly. It is a light colour anyway. And then think about those lines. I'm going to go on the right hand side of these. And then start on the there we go. Actually that was the left and that side was the right. I don't know my left and right, I'm sorry. Same here, over the little skirty bit. And just putting some darker areas in where I think there would be a bit of shadow really. And then I'm going to put some actual shadows in with, might use the charcoal again like we did last time, it worked quite well. So under here, and under here, all my eyes decided to go all blurred. Lovely. Emphasize some of these lines to try and create a shadowy impact. Here. There we go, and then a little bit in here. Okay, now I'm going to do these smaller mushrooms down here. I was thinking I quite like to go for a grey blue colour. Don't we have the Venetian blue deep? I think that might work quite well. Here it is, Venetian blue deep. It's quite a grey blue, purpley colour. I'm going to put a bit extra on those edges. Oh, the rain stopped again. Keeps us on our toes. Got no idea from 1 minute to the next if it's going to be rainy or dry. Still quite threatening though with regards to the sky. So all of these are going to be very similar. Don't have to make them identical. In fact, if you do, it will look a little unrealistic because nature isn't identical. But you can see they're sort of muted greyish blue, which I think works quite well in this context with our other more muted colours. Got quite a good range of muted in this Castle Art set, I think. Just get those edges a bit darker. There we go. Now we have a Venetian blue, and I'm going to use the Venetian blue for the gill part of these. I'm actually going to put it down quite high. I'm not going to do it in the same way as I did the ones above. I'm just going to pop some colour on it, partly because it's quite small and partly because I want to do it a bit differently. Just let the way it's drawn help to form the shape. Okay, now the stems. I think I'm going to use the dove grey for those. Dove grey. Now picking them out is a little bit tricky. I think I've got there. I think this one usually goes through to there. This is this one. Pretty sure that one is there. And this one here. Most of them are okay actually. Then we're going to do these grasses. I want a more muted colour again. I don't want like a leaf green light, really bright. Let's have a look. But grass isn't dark. I think the leaf green deep might just work. Where are you? There we go. Leaf green deep. I'm not going to plaster it on though. Sun shining. British weather. You can have all the weather in one day. Every type you can imagine. Has happened. But not today. We haven't had any snow or hail. Just rain, wind, sun and cloud. Not sure. I'm going to do the tops first and then worry about those bottoms after. I'm a bit confused. That bit definitely there and then here. So that bit I'm with. This bit goes all the way down to there. That's that bit. I think that there. That must be there. Complicated. So this bit I think is the one coming through here. That's our mushroom, I think. Oh, we haven't done that bit of that stem, have we? Now, what did I use? Did I use oyster? I think so. Let me try it first, make sure I did it right. Yeah. Oyster. I don't know whether these bits should be oyster. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah. Leaf green deep. What's going on in there, do you think? Do you think that's a bit of grass? Do you think this is a bit of grass? That's a bit of gill. That's a gap. I think I've got there. There's a few bits down here. It's sort of shorter bits of grass. I think that's the stem. I think so. A bit there. Where's that going? I think behind this leaf. Oh, up here, look. There's a bit in here. These are, I always find these are a little bit tricky to quite see and work out what is going on. I think I'm getting there. There we go. And then these two at the top. There we go. Now ferns are often quite dark, so but I've got a background to think about. I think I will do them not too dark. I will, what should I do for my background? Maybe, not that, not that. Oh, I think I need to do my background first. So I'm going to use my Hooker's Green, which is the darkest colour I'm going to go for. I'm going to do the background. I'm going to make it quite thick because we've got the black as well. So I sort of, you know, like a... Oh, what's the edge of my paper underneath? Just hit there. I've got a piece of, couple of pieces of paper underneath to cushion the page, and they're a little bit shorter, the pages, because it's quite a big book. I have to keep this in my bottom shelf of my bookcase because it's so big. It doesn't fit on any other shelf. It's like in my sort of oversized section. And I can see why big works for these intricate designs. So it sort of makes sense, but they are quite big books compared to my other colouring books. Some of the designs are still pretty intricate. See, that can't be background because it's got to be that's got to be grass. So I'm going just back to my leaf green deep to pop a little bit in there. That's got to be grass. There we are. Now, where are we at? Here. I was just trying to work out. I think I'm going to put a bit in there. I don't know what that is. I quite like a darker background because it sets off the foreground better often, and it can, once you've done it all and you've done a light foreground, it sort of just sits back, you know, doesn't try and compete. And as nice as it is doing a really complex multicoloured background, it can overtake, you know, take over the whole image, and then the image almost vanishes. And you have to decide whether you want that or not. I think most of the time it makes sense to showcase the work of the artist rather than trying to do something in the background that draws the eye away. But obviously you need backgrounds on certain images, so you've just got to practice and work out what works for you and with the various different pictures and things like that. Now, is that the edge of that mushroom? Yeah. What was it? Oyster. Now I've got a bit of a gap here. That's all leaf work. Got the leaves here, and here we go to black. I think that's it. Apart from the bits that I've missed. Okay, let's now continue with these leaves here. These look a bit like dandelion leaves to me. Where should we go with those? I don't want anything too bright, as I've said already. Let's go for the cadmium green. Now I'm going to just block these in and then have a little look about where might be shadowy, like at the bottom, under the sort of overlaps, that sort of thing. Just working my way up here. I want to do the ones that are behind a bit darker, and then they look like they're behind. What are we doing for time? 2:30. I'm just making sure, because I've got to make some food later, but it's very early. I don't know why I was thinking about food already. I'm a bit hungry, I have to say. Don't know why. we've got, I didn't do behind that fern, did I? That's a bit complicated down there as well. I don't know what's going on there. This is definitely leaf. Go up here. That's the sort of turned over bit, so we'll colour that bit. But in here is that background. I think it probably is. Now I'm often tempted to do a fern very, very dark. I am back after being on the phone. I think I've slightly fiddled with my book and it's not quite in the same place. Hang on, there we go. So I can't really remember what I was doing or talking about as I've been on the phone so long, but I'm pretty sure I spotted I needed to do some background behind this fern. And I think, what colour did I, it was not the right colour. Did I use hooker's green for the background? What else have I got here? Leaf green deep. I think I might have done. Let me give it a go. If I'm wrong, you can use the right colour. Yeah, that looks right. So I was on the phone for an hour, chattering to my parents, which was nice. And they'd been to a different town to get their car fixed. So telling me about that. They had now this here looks like I need a bit in there. Yeah. Yeah, their air conditioning wasn't working on their car. I think that needs filling in. That bit, yeah, that's the bottom of that fern. Okay, so let's find a colour for the fern. Now, I would normally do it quite dark, but because we've got a black background, I need to make sure it still stands out from there. So I'm actually going to go for the Prussian green. I think it isn't particularly dark to do my fern. I'm just going to block it in with this. And then see how it looks. I don't want to go too hard because we've got that background behind this one. So we want to make sure we can distinguish between the fern and the background. Yeah, their air conditioning was broken on their car, and so they're having it fixed. It cost quite a lot of money, but they want their car to last, so they thought it was worthwhile investment, which was fair enough. Whereas we haven't fixed the air conditioning on our car because I think those bits might be that grass. Never mind. Our car, my husband was saying our car is slowly falling apart. It's a hybrid electric petrol engine, and there are various things wrong with it. The air conditioning is broken. The heads-up display doesn't work anymore. He says the camera thing that, or whatever projects it up, is fallen over, so it doesn't put it in the right place. What else did he say was wrong with it? The I can't remember now. Something else was broken, he said, with it as well. But all things that aren't important to the safety or the running of the car. Look, I've missed a grass piece there. So, you know, it's okay, but he's running it into the ground, basically, the car, before he gets a new one. He just wants to wear it out. There's a big dent in the bonnet as well, where someone tried to steal the catalytic converter. I think, I'm trying to remember which colour I used for my grass. I have a feeling it was leaf green deep, but I'm not entirely sure. Hang on. Yeah, I think so. Just filling in that one. And that one. Now, let's go back to that that Prussian green that we were using and just darken the base of each of these leaves just a little bit. And while I was on the phone, the postman came, so that was nice. I got two books. Whee! One was one I'd ordered, and one was one that someone has sent me to review for you. So I'm excited to look at it actually, because she said she's changed it. It's her second book. I had her first one, which I reviewed and I finished. It's a bit of a different book. The review would have already gone out actually. It's the Seek and Find colouring book. I'm just going to colour this in a bit darker. I don't really know what it's supposed to be, but let's just make it look green. There we go. Now we've got our leaves at the top. They look really similar to ones over here, but that doesn't mean we have to colour them the same way. We could do these a bit brighter, but we've got this sort of tone going on. I think I might just grab the sap green, actually. Is that what I used last time? I don't know. Never mind, we'll just do it. Yeah, she said she's made the pictures a little bit bigger, I think. So you can see, so you can see it better. But anyway, if you haven't seen the video, it was probably going out towards the end. What's the day today? Yeah, the end of September it will be going out, and so you can go and have a look. And it's quite, the concept is quite fun. It's like a word search, except instead of searching for words, you're searching for objects. You have a grid of names of objects and you have to find them in the picture and then colour them in. It's quite a fun thing. I found it fun. I love word searches, so it just appealed to me really, and I actually finished it really quickly, but I didn't colour the pictures really carefully. I just blocked them in and just enjoyed the searching aspect. You know, it was a lot of fun, I thought. But you can decide. But it's taken her quite a while to bring out the second book, but I guess she's got other things on the go. But the other book I got was a second copy of Small Victories by Johanna Basford, which someone has commissioned me to do a picture from. I mean, this is a commission as well, but yeah, so I'll be doing that. Now, our snail, I'm going to do them a bit darker than this snail, so I'm going to grab a warm grey to start with, which is quite a lot darker than any of the colours we used for the other one. I am going to give it a sharpen. Now his shell hasn't got the stripes, so we're going to keep it all one colour. Warm grey, or no, we might not necessarily only use one pencil, but one rather than doing it striped like the other one. Don't press too hard with your warm grey because we still need him to stand out from this black background. If you go too hard and too dark, he might just disappear a little bit. I mean, it is a browny colour rather than a blackish colour, but still, I'm just trying to make him a bit darker at the bottom, really. There he is. I'm not going to do too much detailing on him. It's quite small, little small, as as one of my sons would say. Right. I'm thinking maybe a brown. Well, I do want a brown, but I think maybe a reddish brown. Let's go for the redwood. It's quite an interesting colour. And I'll colour them in. And then I'm going to use a darker, more blacky brown tone to put in some details. But I'm just going to colour them right in like that. And then I'm going to think about putting some more down here at the bottom. A little bit there. I still want a bit of shine. How's this going to work? It's got marks drawn on it where it implies it should be a bit darker. So I'm just going to do what it says, which maybe I should have done on that bottom one too. Like that. Isn't that how I normally colour snail shell, but why not? Now I'm going to get a darker brown and do a little bit more. Ooh, my pencil doesn't want to stay there. There we go. Yes, the walnut brown. It's really dark, so use it sparingly to start with until you're happy with what you're doing. So I'm going to go under here, just where all these little lines are. If you've got the book, you'll see them. I don't know how well they're showing up on camera. So just darken those bits a little bit. And then I want to lighten. The rest is too white. There's too much paper showing through. I am going to use the cinnamon. Yeah, I'm going to use the cinnamon to just go over these lighter bits, just a little bit, just so I can't quite see as much paper as I'm seeing now. I still want it to look a little bit lighter, just not quite that light. I'm just sort of going over it a little bit. There we go. Right, I think we might be done. Let's have a little look. Yeah. Now you could add some dots onto the mushrooms. There are dots drawn on them or onto the snail, but I'm happy with it as it is. Let's give it a brush off. The cast art sculpts do tend to shed a bit of pencil crumbs, but not too much. So that's our second one done. So thank you very much for watching. I hope that you have a super day and happy colouring.